Hello, my name is Cassandra Salmieri, and I'm going to take you through my critical task number 2 for the TESOL 3080 class in fall 17. It's the Wednesday hybrid. So for my C22, I decided to interview a student from Cali, Colombia. And a brief introduction would be that her name is Juli, and I met her through my sorority. And Juli and I are actually very close friends, and I knew that she was from Colombia because it's something that she uses as a big defining factor. And she came here when she was younger, but she didn't know English, and she did learn it through school. She's now in college, but she was born and raised in Colombia and attended school there for a little bit of her life. So she really helped me learn about the differences in Colombia and the United States and how life is a little bit different in school over there, and that there are also a lot of similarities. And as you can see here, I did say that I thought I had a great grasp on the Spanish language. I thought I knew everything, but I really didn't. I had taken courses and I had attended schools where I was taught Spanish from a young age, but that really didn't help me with her culture. I could know a lot about the language, but that didn't mean that I was an expert in any culture, though I never claimed to be. But Juli's goals after graduating college as a additive bilingual student and human is to graduate this spring with her degree in psychology. She wants to travel, maybe get her master's, and she definitely wants to return to Colombia to see her family. She does consider it still her home. So for the first part, I'd like to talk about culture and some deep Colombian culture aspects in family ties and religion. So I'm going to start with family ties. And two big parts of family ties is the fact that Colombia is part of a collectivist culture rather than an individualist culture like America. So people in Colombia do things for the good of the group and not for the good of themselves. They're not based on individual wants or desires. It's all about the group and the family, and that's something very important. She told me about how her mother had gone back to Colombia a few months ago because her grandfather was very ill. And so her mom sacrificed her time at work, her salary and things like that so that she could go be with her family and support them. And in the event that her grandfather did pass away, her mother had to help with the funeral. But that was okay with her because that was something that was often happening in the Colombian culture. And then another thing is that her family, extended family, is just as important as her immediate family. So going back to her grandfather and helping him was very important because he is just as important as a cousin or not a cousin and a grandfather are just as important as a sibling or a mother. And then religion is a large part of Colombian culture. They're mostly Catholic in Colombia, and it's a huge aspect of the culture. So Juli told me about how it influences their interactions and their life choices, and that her mother will often go to church to pray about a situation, and that will influence what she does. And it also is about how church is a very big place for people to come together. It's a social gathering place. But in the education field, teaching was mostly about the teacher. The teacher is in charge of the lessons, and it's kind of similar to American education. There are public and private schools in Colombia, but Juli's parents moved her to America for a private school here. They believed that school would be better for her here, and they wanted more opportunity for her. But Colombian schools don't have the same technology, and though they do also wear uniforms like some American schools do. And they also have mostly female teachers like here in America. There wasn't a lot of after-school activities available to her. They had physical education, but there weren't a lot of clubs or anything. Kids went home and did their homework, and that was basically what happened. Huli never really witnessed corporal punishment. I don't think that it's really something widely used. I haven't found anything in my research. And if something were to happen at school, teachers would notify the parents, and the parents would take care of it at home. But that rarely happened because respect for teachers was highly regarded in her culture. And relationship-wise, teachers were nice but not overly friendly. And for educational considerations, curriculum was set by the country, and you didn't get to choose what you studied until you went to university. In the language of Colombia, it's Spanish, and it's very similar to English, but Spanish does have some extra letters and different pronunciations of letters. Like a J in Spanish sounds like an H. So though you would say her name is Julie in English, you do say Juli for her. And there is a double R in Spanish, or doble R, and that is the trilled R, where you roll your R, and we don't have that in English. And that is part of phonology. Morphology, Spanish has a lot of inflection that English lacks, and you can't mix verbs like ser and a star. To be, they are different kinds, but English doesn't have that. And then there are words that are masculine and feminine. You need to use an article before the word, like la or el. So you would say el sombrero, and that's masculine, the hat, or la camisa, and that's feminine, and that is the shirt. And those articles are el and la. There's this, which is este, and that, which is ese. There are a lot of cognates in Spanish. There's also false cognates, but some cognates would be abnormal or abnormal, and abrupt or abrupto. The word order, you can use SVO or SOV, but there's also VSO, OVS, and VOS. You could say Anita trabaja en la escuela, or trabaja Anita en la escuela. So all of that can be flipped around a little bit. For semantics, respect and how you address people is important, using formal or informal things. And Juli really thought that English was a little bit difficult and kind of boring. Honestly, I don't think that she really needs much to help her, but I'm open to suggestions. She is a successful additive bilingual in college. This is her handwriting for translating the sentences. This is our hour log. This is a picture of us, and that is it. Thank you so much.